Right, everybody, welcome to this tapping on debt call. Thank you all so much for spending this next hour with me. This call was inspired from the mid-year money tapping because when the topic of debt came up, people were like, do a call on debt, do a tapping call on debt. So I thought, all right, let's do this again. Thank you for sharing this class. If you loved it, let people know that you came, share it on social media, tag me in it. I will happily draw for another prize if you do that. And Karen, celebrating you, you won last time if you won a one-on-one with me. So thank you so much for sharing. And to all of you who as well, thank you. I'm gonna hit mute on everyone just so there's no background noise. And we are outside today because the energy of nature is magnificent. I also have children inside and cats outside, so you might hear some background noise, but that is life of being a mom in the summertime and being in business. So last minute, I wasn't gonna do a PDF, then last minute I did a PDF. So I might have to tweak it before I send it out to you, but I will be sharing that today. It's going to be similar style as the mid-year money tapping. We're going to look at how do I feel in my body when I talk about debt, when I look at my debt, and getting the body grounded. We're going to do some forgiveness work, and I'm going to add some journal prompts. I have one or two, but I'm going to add a few more that I will send out to you later on the replay. So let's dive in. I'm going to go ahead and share screen and we will get started. Oh, and people are still coming in the room, so it just might take me a moment to let people in. All right, so welcome to this tapping down debt session. I just want to make note that I am not a financial expert. I'm a tapping expert, and money is an emotional topic. So it's a great way to use tapping. Honestly, money can tell us stories, show us stories about ourselves. It can show us areas where limiting beliefs might be living. And, but I'm not like a money management expert. I highly recommend Sarah Penfold. I think she might even be on this call. She has a great program called Sacred Wealth. If you are looking for some like very practical, like how do I pay down my debt? I recommend checking her out. Megan Hale's also a money expert that I love, and Michelle Cooper, she is my personal money person that I work with. So those are a few names. I'm happy to share them in the email as well. If you're looking for the more practical strategy, we're going to talk about the emotions of money today. So my intention, first of all, welcome. If you're new to me, my name is Jackie McDonald. I am an expert in a healing modality called EFT tapping. And my intention today is that by looking at, talking about, and tapping on your debt, you're going to release any shame, fear, or anxiety you have around it. My intention is that by tapping with me, you'll feel powerful, capable, and in control of your money so that you can attract the right resources and solutions to help you create financial freedom. So I would love it if you want to share in the chat, what is your intention for today? To feel better about my money, to have a shift around this debt that I'm holding on to or experiencing right now. And I was thinking about it as I was getting ready. You know, one of the things I love about tapping is tapping can create miracles. And a miracle is a shift in your perception. And I've tapped with many people on this topic before. And I remember one time someone mentioned that they felt like debt was a grizzly bear that was chasing them. It felt more powerful than them. It felt like no matter what they did, it was going to eat them. And through, a few minutes of tapping, she was able to look at the debt, look at this grizzly bear and see, actually, it's not more powerful than me. I can get control of this. And then that set her on the motion to releasing her debt, which I believe she's debt free now. So, yeah, that was my intent. Another intention I wanted to share is that you have a miracle, a shift in your perception around your money, around your debt, and your feelings about it. I'm just going to read some of these comments. Oh, Sarah, you are here. You're welcome. Your intention, Leslie, is to take debt's power away. Okay, so you're maybe feeling that a little bit, like debt is more powerful than you, shifting out of the shame around debt and out of lack. Okay. To release the heaviness I feel when I think of debt. Awesome. This is all super helpful. And yeah, we're going to get into some journal prompts. I have so much I want to say, but I'm like, okay, one thing at a time. Release the anxiety and fear of lack. Okay, Teresa, thank you so much for sharing. And feel free to keep them coming as we keep rolling. Whoops, I didn't mean to stop share. All right, so body before business. I heard Kate Northrup say this the other day. So this is not stealing it from her. I'm totally taking the inspiration from her, but this is one of definitely the philosophies that I have with EFT. And oh, I'm just gonna get bringing to mute. I think there's a little bit of background noise. Whoever isn't muted, if you could go ahead and mute just so there's no feedback. Oh, I'll do it. Here it is. Okay. So before we dive in and look at your debt, let's check in with your body. Same thing that we did in the mid-year money tapping. So I'm going to invite you, as long as you're in a safe place to do so, to just go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to do it right along with you. Get comfy, roll your shoulders up and back a few times. You can give a little up and down, shake your body out, get into your body this morning. As you connect to your breath, taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good job. And again, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just settling into your day, settling into yourself. As you start to bring forward the relationship that you have with debt and the debt that you are currently experiencing. And as you tune into your body and you start thinking about your debt, I want you to notice if there's anywhere that you notice there's tension, anxiety, fear, shame, guilt. Are you noticing it surface anywhere in your body? So number one, what feeling do you have when you think about debt? Number two, where is it in your body? Number three, how high is it on a scale of 0 to 10? So when I think about my debt, I feel, what do you feel? I feel it in my, where do you feel it? And on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 meaning it's not high at all, 10 meaning it's really high, I would give it a, what number? So I'm gonna get you to share in the chat if you don't mind. Yeah, there's so many emotions around money. You're not alone. We're all here together and it's all good. So you're feeling it in your heart. It's a 3. Heaviness in your shoulders, clutching feeling in your solar plexus. It's an 8. Okay, throat 7. And what's the feeling? So what is in the heart? What is in the throat? Is it fear? Is it anxiety? Is it shame? Is it, for me, when I did it this morning, I was like, I'm just annoyed. Like, the feeling like I always was like, I'm annoyed by this. Like I don't, yeah, I had my own feelings about it. So identifying the emotion is going to be really important. There's fear in your solar plexus, in your shoulders. You feel frustrated, annoyance, fear. Okay, thank you. So this is your own scale for you to track your own progress with tapping. All right, so every time we tap, I do the same thing. What's the emotion? Where is it in the body? How high is it on a scale of 0 to 10? And then when I'm doing it on my own, I often journal about like, why am I feeling this fear? Why am I feeling annoyed? Why am I feeling anxious? Why am I feeling frustrated? So if you want to put the why in for your own experience right now. So for example, this morning I was like, I feel annoyed because I didn't need to spend that. I thought I did, and turns out I didn't. And it's just annoying. So I'm annoyed because I gave my power away thinking other people had the answer or solution for me instead of myself. So that would be an example of like what I would write. Your belly, it feels like your body's being squeezed. There's anxiety, shame, frustration in your lower belly. Okay, thank you all for sharing this. I know it's like we're getting down to the nitty gritty, but we need to know what we're starting with and where we're at. And our body is like the best guide when it comes to working with money. I often say your body has to be on board with who you're becoming. And if the body, if you're like, doing all the right money management things, but your body is feeling anxious or tired or exhausted or frustrated, there's a huge part of you that's not on board, and it needs to be. And so tapping really helps bring that together. All right, so let's tap together. I am going to go back to the main screen and whoops, I'm trying to make the, I'm trying to like put me on the main screen so you guys can see, but hopefully you guys can see me. So if you haven't tapped before, tapping is like a game of Simon Says. We're tapping on acupuncture points or meridians on the face and body. And you're just gonna follow along, say what I say, do what I do. And don't worry about getting it perfect. If you miss a point or you didn't catch what I said, just keep going. This is more about tuning into your own body, your own experience and feelings around this topic, okay? So tapping on the side of the hand, we're gonna say, even though I have this debt, and looking at it brings up all these feelings and emotions. And I can feel them in my body. I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though at the moment I have this debt. And talking about it and looking at it makes me feel uncomfortable. I can feel it in my body. I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I would like to create a plan to eliminate this debt, just thinking about it makes my body uncomfortable. And that's okay. I love and accept myself anyway. Good. Let's go to the top of the head and say, talking about my debt, eyebrow point, or looking at it, side of the eye, brings up all these feelings in my body. Underneath the eye, there's anxiety. Underneath the nose, some fear. Underneath the mouth, feelings like, how am I going to get out of this? Collarbone point, how did I get myself into this? Underneath the arms, I have all this discomfort about this debt in my body. Underneath the chest, I can feel it in my, I want you to fill in the blank. Where do you feel it? I feel it in my belly. I feel it in my shoulders. I feel it in my head. I feel it in my, fill in the blank. Tapping the wrists together. And I'd really like to start letting this go. Top of the head. I'd like to start letting go of this anxiety around debt. Eyebrow point, this heaviness around debt. Side of the eye, this frustration around debt. Underneath the eye, all these feelings I've held on to in my body. Underneath the nose, I'm ready to start letting them go. All right, so go ahead, take a breath. Good job. So I want you to notice now, you can close your eyes and tune back in. When I think about my debt, when I look at my debt or talk about it now, where do I feel it in my body? How high is it on a scale of 0 to 10? And then the third question, what am I feeling now? And so if you want to share in the chat, what are you feeling now? And there's no right or wrong answer. Maybe you're like, duh, I'm feeling like my anxiety went up. Like, shit, I have so much debt. What am I going to do? So it might be like you're starting to spin a bit in your mind. Or you might be like, I don't know, for some reason, my number went down. It feels a little bit better. And I don't know why, but it's just starting to feel less intense. Okay. Down to a 2, apathy. Joelle, yours went down to a 5, uncertainty. And I'm just going to check what yours was at the beginning. It was an 8 before. Great. So we're seeing some numbers come down. It just shifted to my throat and it's an 8, frustration and wanting to be done with it. Okay. It's in your solar plexus and it's a 7. So oftentimes for those of you that are in tapping school, you know this, but when we're tapping with someone, we say, what's left in that 7? What's left in that 2? What's left in that 5? And the secret to success in tapping is getting really specific. So it could be like, you know, I'm just so frustrated. Like, I can't let this frustration go. Like, I should be over this by now. How did I get into this? Yada, yada, yada. We want to take a moment to get into some of the specifics as to what you're feeling, and that will help clear it out. Down to a 6, I want to just deal with it. It shifted into my chest. Now it's a 5. Okay. So when the numbers are between a 4 and a 7, this means that your subconscious mind is ready to start letting it go. And it's like, I'm not where I was before. I'm not where I want to be yet. I'm open to a new possibility. So we're going to do another round of tapping, and we're going to use some of that language. I'm open to dealing with this debt now. I'm open to looking at it, and I'm open to letting it go. I'm open to believing that I can be free of this. I'm open to believing that I'm powerful enough to pay this off, that I am creative enough to come up with solutions to create more money and pay this debt down. So this is where we're going to start to head towards. But in tapping, one of the things we look for is making sure you're not spiritually bypassing. If you're still at a 9 and you're like, I'm anxious, that's okay. You just need to do a little bit more tapping on that. Why are you anxious? I'm afraid this will never go away. I've been like this for years. It's never going to change. You might need to get a little bit more specific in your wording. Oh, thank you. You're my necklace. Thank you. It shifted from fear to sadness that I let myself get into debt. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Mary. Does anyone else feel that way? It can be tough because my hubby has a fear around money and he thinks I'm crazy for saying everything will work out. Okay. So there's some, external things going on. External pressures maybe that you're feeling. All right. So let's tap again on the side of the hand. Take a nice deep breath and say, even though I still have this debt, my feelings around it are shifting. It's feeling less heavy. And I'm open to creative solutions now. Even though I still have this debt, something is shifting in me. I'm realizing that I am powerful. Maybe it doesn't have to be this way forever. Even though there's a part of me that thought I am going to be stuck with this debt forever. Forever and ever and ever. I'm realizing that there's a way through this. And I can let this fear and anxiety go. Go to the top of the head and say, I don't know about that. Eyebrow point. I don't know if I can let go of this fear and anxiety around debt. Side of the eye. I'm so used to feeling this way. Underneath the eye. I'm always stressed about money. Underneath the nose. I'm used to being stressed about my debt. Underneath the mouth, but maybe there's a shift occurring today. Collarbone point. Maybe there's a new possibility available to me now. Tapping underneath the arms. I could believe that I'm stuck this way forever. Underneath the chest. I could believe that it's all my fault and it'll never change. Wrist point. Or I could believe in something bigger. Top of the head. Maybe I do have the power to change my financial reality. Eyebrow point. Maybe this debt doesn't have to be this way forever. Side of the eye. There's a part of me that says, yes, it does. Underneath the eye. It's going to be like this forever. Underneath the nose. But there's another part of me that knows. Underneath the mouth. That this is a temporary experience. Collarbone point. And I have the power to overcome it now. All right, good job. So take a nice deep breath. I saw lots of yawns, so that's good. So one of the things that we talk about in tapping a lot is parts of self. And when we were tapping in that round, I said, there's a part of me that's like, nope, it's going to be this way forever. You're in debt. You're always going to be in debt. Your parents were in debt. You're just wishful thinking. So one of the journal prompts I would leave you with is the part of me that thinks it's going to be this way forever. What does she, he, they need to say? So there's a part of you that's afraid that you're stuck this way, and you need to give that part of you a voice. And that is giving a voice to the subconscious mind. That's why you're yawning when we do these rounds. That's why you're probably going to feel things shift quite significantly, because when we tap and talk to that resistance, it's like finally the subconscious is being heard. Your subconscious and your body are deeply connected, and it's saying, yeah, there's a part of me that thinks it's going to be this way forever. So, and maybe you're like, no, I don't believe that at all. Then that's great. Your subconscious is like, no, I don't believe that at all. There's totally a way through this. I see the other side. This is temporary. I got this. That's beautiful. Those are some affirmations that you can start writing down. But that would be a journal prompt for you, is like, what does the part of me that's afraid really have to say? The part of me that's afraid, or the part of me that's ashamed, or the part of me that feels guilty, the part of me that feels anxious, what does he or she have to say? And journal on that today. And whatever you journal, I would recommend going through and tapping in. So when I did this morning, the part of myself that came up was a part of me that felt shame because I knew better. And I invested money in things that had big promises and little return. And it was really frustrating. So there's a part of me that was like, I'm afraid you messed up your life. You could have done other things with that money. And all of that needs to get vented out. That's one of the most powerful pieces of tapping. You need to get those feelings out. So I'm going to invite you again to close your eyes, check back in with, when you think about your debt, or you look at your debt, thinking about it, looking at it, how do you feel now? How do you feel? So where are you feeling it in your body? And how high is it on a scale of 0 to 10? And we are going to go into some affirmative rounds in a minute. So that will definitely leave you feeling elevated. But I wanted to just do a little bit of deeper tapping in that round. So what am I feeling now? Where am I feeling it? How high is it on a scale of 0 to 10? I'll give you a moment to post that in the chat. And if anyone wants to unmute and share what's coming up for them, you're also welcome to do that. I am more than happy to hear what you're noticing or what's shifting for you. Okay, no one's got it, or maybe it's not coming through yet. Like a Zen monk right now. I love that. That's what tapping does. So we call that like the void in tapping, where you're like, you kind of go into this space of I'm not where I was before. I don't really know where I am now. You're ready to be filled with affirmations. You're ready to really step into the new. So thank you for sharing that. I feel neutral in my heart. It's a 3. Thank you for sharing. Your throat is less restricted. It started at 7. Now it's a 3 probably. Awesome. Okay. So this is just telling me that the tapping is working and you're ready for some affirmations. I still feel it in my throat, but now it's only at a 2. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So before we do the next round, I'm just going to share my screen. One of the affirmations that I wanted to use today was that I release any guilt, shame, or fear associated with my debt, and I embrace forgiveness. And I thought it would be cool to do a little bit of forgiveness tapping around your debt and around money in general. And the way that I like to do this is just writing a forgiveness letter to yourself around money, using the I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. You can also do this to money. So you can do it to yourself, like dear Jackie, or dear first name, I'm sorry for getting you into this position. I'm sorry for overspending. I'm sorry for believing that you weren't powerful enough to do it on your own and you had to spend a bunch of money on other things. Please forgive me. And you can just simply write that, like, please forgive me, or you can write, please forgive me for, for not believing in myself. This was mine this morning, so I'm just using my example. And thank you. Thank you for being brave enough to look at this. Thank you for doing this work. Thank you for doing your best. Thank you for looking at your money, talking about your money, tapping on your money today. I love you. You've got this. We are on the brink of a breakthrough. I love you no matter what your numbers are. I love you no matter what your financial position is. So this is something that has been extraordinary to me in terms of my relationship with money. And I know others that I've worked with have loved this too. If you've never done this before, don't feel like the pressure to do it right here on the call. But I will do a round of tapping on forgiveness around debt and money. Writing a letter to money and then writing a letter from money to you is a very powerful exercise. Sarah, do you want to share a little bit about that? What's your experience with it? If you can, I know you might have other things going on, but if you can.
No, I can share. It's something that I take my clients through as part of the course that I teach. And anytime you're writing or talking or expressing, it's like you mentioned, it's like releasing things from the body, but it also can like provide insights. And it's one thing to like write a letter to money and like express your feelings, but doing the opposite and allowing like yourself to see what, like if money was embodied, how it would be in relationship with you can be really revealing and vulnerable.
So what are some of the things that show up if money was to write to you? Because I often think of money as like a best friend, and like, how much time have I spent with my best friend lately?
Exactly.
Have I called my best friend? Have I asked my best friend how it's doing? Have I checked in with my best friend? So if you were to view money as your best friend, this is money being like, okay, if you want to know the truth, this is what's going on. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. If it's a relationship, how are you putting time and energy and attention on that relationship? Yeah.
Beautiful. We're on the same wavelength. Awesome. Okay. So that is a practice I will leave with you to do on your own. We're going to do some tapping around this. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sarah. On what do you need to forgive yourself for around money? So if you want to just share in the chat, I'm ready to forgive myself for overspending. I'm ready to forgive myself for avoiding looking at my money. I'm ready to forgive myself for fill in the blank. So I would just invite you to share in the comments, what are you ready to forgive yourself for? I'm going to use some of your languaging as we tap through this round. I see some of you have to pop off because you have other calls. No problem. The replay will get sent out after. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. So what am I forgiving myself for around money? So for me, it was I forgive myself for putting money in the hands of other people versus putting money aside for myself. I forgive myself for avoiding looking at my money in the past. I'm pretty good at it now, but in the past, it was definitely one that I was like, oh, I have to work through. Holding on to or buying into a vision I didn't really want anymore. Oof, powerful. Thank you for sharing that. I'm ready to forgive myself for ignoring my money and overspending. Thank you for sharing that. Forgive myself for not letting me have and receive more money. Yeah, that's a big one. Forgive. And like, that's where you could do some more journaling. Like, why don't I let myself receive more money? What is it about me that I have, what rule have I created that I can't receive money? Can do a little bit of journaling around that. So what do you need to forgive yourself for around money? Not being able to pay people back right away, putting my head in the sand, not being able to save, not paying off debt. Sorry, I can't talk. When I was younger and I had more access. Oof. Yes, these are real, right? And it's like time to let these go today. It's time to free yourself from this shame, from this guilt, from the cloud, right? Because sometimes debt can feel like a cloud, a shame cloud, and you're like, I'm just going to pretend it's not there. Let's not talk about it. Let's not look at it. Or looking at it, it's just like, that just made me feel worse. By the end of the session today, I want you to feel like way better about it. Like, I did the hard thing. I looked at it. I tapped on it. I talked about it. And I am stepping into my powerful creator ability now. And I am ready to let the shame around debt go. Debt, I always say, like, debt is a temporary experience. Debt isn't really a big deal to me, but I've worked on it to make it that way. I believe that some of the people with the most money in the world have the most debt. They know how to leverage debt in different ways. And that, not every single person experiences it, but a lot of us do. And so the more we can tap about it, the more we can talk about it, the more we can express, the sooner we come back into our power and can create a plan. All right, so let's do some forgiveness tapping. I forgive myself for not recognizing that I repeated the pattern of my parents and making better decisions with money. Yes. Oh, I could go so deep into that one right there, but we'll keep rolling. I forgive myself for blocking from my creative ways to eliminate debt, holding on to other people's thoughts and beliefs about me and my work and my money. Oh, these are huge. Okay, let's do some forgiveness tapping around this now. So we're going to tap again on the side of the hand, and I'm going to try and read through these while we do this. So even though I've been holding on to some stories and beliefs about money and about debt, I give myself permission to start letting those stories go and to free them from my body today. Even though I have made some choices around money that have put me in sticky situations,
Charlie,
I choose to forgive myself for that now and to release any shame or guilt around it now. Even though I have made some decisions around money that have got me into sticky situations, I'm ready to forgive myself for that now. It's time for me to release any shame, guilt, or fear that I'm holding on to. I'm going to read through these. We're going to top the head and say, I forgive myself, eyebrow point, for holding on to a vision that I didn't really want anymore. Side of the eye, I forgive myself for ignoring my money. Underneath the eye, I forgive myself for overspending. Underneath the nose, I forgive myself for believing. Underneath the mouth, that it's not safe for me to receive more money. We're going to say that one again. Collarbone point. I forgive myself for believing that it's not safe for me to receive more money. Underneath the arms, I forgive myself for believing. Underneath the chest, that I'm irresponsible with large amounts of money. Wrist point, I forgive myself for not being able to pay people back right away. Top of the head, I forgive myself for being a spender, not a saver. Eyebrow point, I forgive myself for putting my head in the sand. Side of the eye, and repeating my parents' patterns around money. Underneath the eye, I forgive myself now. Underneath the nose, I free myself from any shame, blame, or guilt. Underneath the mouth, I am creating a new cycle today. Collarbone point, I'm recommitting to me and my money. Underneath the arms, I'm remembering that I am a powerful creator. Underneath the chest, and I can work miracles with my money. All right, so take a deep breath. And if there's any other stories that you need to forgive, you know, spend a little bit more time on this afterwards and go into them. And the deeper you can go into this forgiveness, like these specifics, like the more you're going to feel like, okay, full reset today, right? Full reset today. We are creating a new cycle with money. If you've ignored your money, if you've overspent your money, if you've been a spender, not a saver, if you've repeated your parents' patterns, you know what? Bless and release. It's okay. But you're creating a new cycle today. And I'm going to share the next affirmation as we go into this last half. Here, one second. I'm a powerful creator. I can generate money quickly and easily. So I would invite you to write this down. I am a powerful creator. I can generate money quickly and easily. When you read this, how do you feel? Is it like, yes, I totally am. I forgot. Like, I am a powerful creator. I can generate money quickly and easily. Or when you read this, are you like, I don't think that's true. That feels crazy. I can't generate money quickly and easily. And if it feels like I can't, why? Well, because of my job, or because my income is limited, or because I don't trust myself with large amounts of money, or because no matter how much I make, it's not going to be enough. My debt is bigger than my income. So this is also going to require a little bit more of your own work, right? Like, okay, what comes up for me around these affirmations? And this is like my daily practice. I write affirmations all the time. And instead of just like writing them and carrying on, I'm like, how do I feel about this affirmation? Is this resonating? Is this true? Or am I feeling like I got so many blocks around this one, I got to tap on it? And so I invite you to do this on your own outside of this, but we are going to do it together today. So feel free to share. How do you feel when you read this statement? I can and I forget. Yeah, Joelle, you totally can. You are a powerful generator. You can create money easily and quickly. You're a powerful creator. Sorry, I meant to say creator, so generator. And it's this once we get through this debt cloud, we're like, it's like airing it out. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, you can come up with an idea that sells like hotcakes in the matter of minutes, but your nervous system has to be in the place to be able to receive that, right? To be able to be in that rest, repose state that you're like creating ideas again. You're remembering your power. The affirmation feels true on a deeper layer, but my mind tells me I'm not there yet. That's totally okay. That's why we're testing it out. And why aren't you there yet? Why am I not there yet? And what would it take for me to get there? Karen, I am a powerful creator. I have done it before and I can do it again. Yes, you can. We're remembering. And now when you start to remember what's happening in your body, are you feeling things start to flow? Whew, I'm feeling like I'm activated. Something is turned on in me. I am a powerful creator. You can just say that over and over again. I have the power within me. I have done it before. I can do it again. When I remember this, how do I feel? Ooh, I start to feel unstoppable. I start to feel excited. I start to be open to inspired ideas. And when you can get your body into this state, go and do something that is fun for you, or just go, like for me, like go have a shower, go for a walk, cleaning my house. That's when inspired ideas start to come once I shift my body into this state. All right. It's not like I'm like sitting here waiting for the perfect idea, because then that's total attachment and forcing. I'm like, ooh, I forgot how powerful I was. I'm feeling better about myself now. I'm going to go flow through my day, and I'm going to listen and look for the little nudges that the universe, that God, that life has for me. The first sentence feels true, but the second feels not as true, because I think money will take a long time to generate, even though I've done it before. Okay. So why now is money going to take a long time to generate? I have felt this way too. I've done it before, but I don't think it's going to happen again. Why? Why do you think it's going to happen again? For me, it was like something around my worthiness. But this is probably one of the most important parts of the call, because this is going to help you identify what are the beliefs that I need to shift. Okay. So let's tap on this one too. Actually, would anyone want to volunteer to tap with me, to be my like guinea pig and tap on this with me? Do you guys want to? Anyone? Yeah, Alistair, do you want to go? Go for it. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Nice to have you. I've never tapped with you face to face before, so.
No, we haven't. Thank you for letting me join you today.
Absolutely. So how do you feel about this statement? I'll bring it up again. I am a powerful creator. I can generate money quickly and easily.
I feel like it's written about someone else.
Okay.
It feels like it's outside of me.
Okay.
I feel open to it, and I feel more receptive to it than I probably did about 40 minutes ago.
Okay. And why does it feel like it's written about someone else? It just feels impossible, or what comes up for you?
Yeah, just because my money story hasn't really played like this. So, and in my experiences, money always felt like something that had to be fought for, which I know is crazy, but that's the jam, you know.
Mm. I'm just writing down some of your words so I can reuse them. Money is something that has to be fought for. And when you think about generating more money, what shows up in your body? Do you feel any resistance in your body?
I feel it across the back of my shoulders, like a T shape over my shoulders, then down my spine. And then I feel like this kind of like my legs lock up a bit.
Okay.
And then my jaw gets a bit tense as well. It's just this kind of like a paralysis in a weird way.
Yeah. How long has it been this way?
Always. I also get like a block in the solar plexus as well. It feels like a big square of something. I don't know what really.
And on a scale of 0 to 10, what number would you give it? How intense is this feeling?
Just kind of in general or right now?
In general.
In general, it's can be a 6 or an 8, but right now we're kind of like a 4 because we've done some tapping.
Awesome. Okay. And I think there was one other question, but oh, and how would you like to feel when you think about money?
I'd like to just feel at peace. You know, I'd like to feel like it's a normal thing to have access to a lot of it, to do different things with my work, and just to be at peace with being a custodian of that, because right now I am the bottleneck in my business life because of how I feel.
Mm. You said I'm the bottleneck in my business because of how I feel.
Mm.
Is that about me or other things?
Money, because money is attached to visibility. They're almost kind of like one hand washes the other.
Yeah.
So when it's time to put something new out, the procrastination kicks in, you know, that kind of thing. So I'd like to just be done with that, really.
Oh my gosh, I want to go to like a much deeper session with you, but we'll see what we have time for. And if people have to leave, you guys can leave, but I think this is going to be relatable. If anyone can relate, you can share in the chat that money is attached to visibility. And when it comes time to put yourself out there, the procrastination shows up. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's dive in. Let's tap in. Everyone can tap with us because it's called borrowing benefits. So whether we use the exact wording for you or not, you're still going to feel a shift. And you'd like to feel peaceful, and it's normal to have access to lots of it. That's the two feelings you want to have around money, correct?
Yes, please.
Awesome. So let's tap on the side of the hand and say, even though when I look at this statement,
that
I'm a powerful creator, and I can generate money quickly and easily. It feels like it's written about someone else. It doesn't feel like it's possible for me. Because there's so much tied into it. Like visibility. I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though when I think about money, I feel like my body locks up. It freezes. Because I've always had, because money is something that has always had to be fought for. And it just makes me feel tense. I love and accept myself anyway. Even though there's this story. That money is something that has to be fought for. I love and accept myself anyway. Top of the head. For as long as I can remember. Eyebrow point. The topic of money. Side of the eye has made my whole body freeze up. Underneath the eye. Talking about money is uncomfortable for me. Underneath the nose. I feel it in the back of my shoulders. Underneath the mouth. I feel my legs and jaw lock up. Collarbone point. I can feel it in my solar plexus. Underneath the arms. It's like money makes my body shut down. Underneath the chest. My mind and body check out when it comes to money. Wrist point. But I'd like to start shifting this today. Top of the head. Maybe I can feel softer in my body. Eyebrow point when it comes to money. Side of the eye. I wonder what that would feel like right now. Underneath the eye. Maybe I could soften my body just a little bit. Underneath the nose and talk about money. Underneath the mouth. I'm open to softening my jaw. Collarbone point. I'm open to deepening my breath. Underneath the arms. And relaxing my shoulders.
And relaxing my shoulders.
Underneath the chest, while being with my money right now.
While being with my money right now.
This point, I'm open to this possibility.
I'm open to this possibility.
All right, so go ahead, take a breath. Great job, Alistair. So when you check in with money now, is it a little bit softer?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, good.
Particularly in the legs and in the jaw. That just feels like it's kind of just instead of everything feeling so tight, it just feels like there's a bit of room to move, you know?
Good. Awesome. So this is relevant for all of us because if we've it's like, I often say it's like a muscle we've worked out a ton, right? When we talk about money, it's like, ooh, freeze, avoid, or whatever, we're feeling anxious. So it's like baby stepping the body into like, okay, maybe I can just soften a little bit and then like celebrate. Good. Even if we go back to a freeze mode for a moment, it's okay. You did good. Or it's like training, like I almost think of like training a baby how to walk. Like, awesome, you took 2 steps, you fell down, that's okay. We're going to get back up. So this is beautiful. Your body's starting to adapt and change into, all right, we're heading towards this feeling. I want to feel at peace around money. So what number would you give? It was a 4 before. What number would you give it now?
Right now, I feel like I'm a 2, 1.5, that kind of thing, just overall.
Awesome.
Because the legs thing is a really big thing. Because my first really conscious memory, you know, we have our early memories, they're just images and stuff. But the first one that I really remember is my parents arguing about money. Like one of my first memories in general. So that kind of desire to move away from that kind of it still kicks in after all these years, you know.
Yeah. Have you done any work around that memory?
Yeah, I have done some stuff, but it's like everything, it's layered, isn't it? So the deeper we go, the more subtle it becomes.
Do you want to do some tapping around that memory today?
I'm sure, why not?
Okay. So this is, we're going to do like a form of advanced tapping. And for anyone watching, if you have any earlier memories around money where you learned something, saw something, heard something, this could be from your parents, this could be from grandparents, teacher. You can also apply this to that memory now. I would just ask if the memory feels too intense or you feel too associated, means like you're reliving it in the moment, to come back out and not go in to it, because with these memories, there's lots of different dynamics happening, and we want to make sure that you're safe in terms of if there is any trauma there, you're not re-engaging with it. So if you feel comfortable, everyone else listening, you can think about, is there a memory, an early memory that I have around money that I learned, saw, or heard something that created a belief in me? And if you want, you can share in the chat. And then we're going to go through this together. So with your first memory around your parents fighting about money, how old were you?
3.
Okay. And when you think about that memory now, do you have any anxiety?
No, I just feel a bit sad that's what it is. Be nice if it was like a summer's day or something, you know, that kind of thing. But there we go.
Okay. And how high is that sadness on a scale of 0 to 10?
I'd say it's like a 5, because it's more kind of melancholic rather than like out and out sad, you know, just kind of a reflective. It is what it is, but it's kind of lame at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. And did you say this was the first memory you ever had?
So I have a couple of other memories that are just like snapshot flashes, but this is the first thing that I can actually remember something happening with interaction.
Okay. And do you feel that sadness anywhere in your body right now when you think about this memory?
Yeah, right across the middle here.
Okay. All right. And so for everyone following along, like similar to what Joelle just shared, like there's an early memory that we don't have enough of it and might not even have enough for food. And now as an adult, I'm hyper focused on always having lots of food. Interesting. So for you, Joelle, I'd be like, when you think about that memory, how do you feel? And so like Alistair shared that his was sadness. How do you feel thinking about that memory? And then how high is that feeling on a scale of 0 to 10? So the caveat with doing this work is if your number is really high, if you're like thinking about that memory makes me feel super sad, it's like a 10, or it makes me feel anxious or anything like that, you don't go into the memory until your number is very low. So sorry, my cat behind me is talking. He's agreeing. So we're going to do some tapping to bring those initial feelings down. But if your feelings stay really heightened, I would not go into the memory. Yeah, scared is a 9. Okay. Karen, you said, I heard others being put down because they had money. Interesting. So when you think about that memory, Karen, how do you feel? How high is it on a scale of 0 to 10? And where is it in your body? And all of you can do the same questions. So we're going to tap on the side of the hand and say, even though I have this early memory around money.
Even though I have this early memory around money.
And thinking about it brings up some sadness for me.
And thinking about it brings up some sadness for me.
I can feel it in the core of my body.
I can feel it in the core of my body.
I love and accept myself anyway.
I love and accept myself anyway.
And when I'm ready, I will let this go.
And when I'm ready, I will let this go.
Especially because this is the first real full memory.
Especially because this is the first real full memory
that I have. I feel sad.
I feel sad.
That it's about my parents fighting about money.
That it's about my parents fighting about money.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
Even though I have this early memory around money.
Even though I have this early memory around money.
And thinking about it brings up these feelings in my body.
And thinking about it brings up these feelings in my body.
When I'm ready, I will let these feelings go.
When I'm ready, I will let these feelings go.
But I acknowledge the impact this has had on me now.
But I acknowledge the impact this has had on me now.
Go to the top of the head and say, this early memory I have around money.
This early memory I have around money.
Eyebrow point. When I think about it, it brings up some sadness.
When I think about it, it brings up some sadness.
Side of the eye. It's disappointing that my first memory.
It's disappointing that my first memory.
Underneath the eye, my first real memory.
My first real memory.
Underneath the nose was about my parents fighting about money.
It was about my parents fighting about money.
Underneath the mouth, I feel sadness about this.
I feel sadness about this.
Collarbone point. I can feel it in my body.
I can feel it in my body.
Underneath the arms, but I'm open to moving through it now.
But I'm open to moving through it now.
Underneath the chest, I'm open to letting some of the sadness go.
I'm open to letting some of the sadness go.
Wrist point and supporting the little me.
And supporting the little me.
Top of the head that had to watch that day.
That had to watch that day.
All right, so go ahead and stop tapping. And how is the sadness now? Has it went up or down or stayed the same?
It's down. It's down. I think it's one of those things. I think it will just go like a wave, steadily out into the sea.
Yeah.
It's just a shame. It's just a real shame. That's it.
All right. So it's, would you say less than a 5?
Oh yeah, they're like a 1.5.
Okay.
There's the thought is there, the feelings aren't wrapped up in it.
Yeah. You have it's like your adult self, the awareness of that was really disappointing. That's a real shame that this was my first memory as a child. But you feel empowered to go back and support your younger self.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, he didn't have a say in it. And my parents were also very young when I came along. So I've forgiven them a long time ago for not really knowing where they were going in life and the fallout that that had.
Right. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now, and for everyone else checking back in, you know, this early memory around money, how do I feel about it now? What number is it on a scale of 0 to 10? And if it's below a 4, then you could go into the memory. But if it's not, I would just observe this session now, and I can support you with that afterwards, whether it's booking sessions or referring you to a practitioner to do this work. So Alistair, for this part, we're going to tap on our finger points. So this is tapping on the side of the nail bed, and you just filter through one finger at a time, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you just keep tapping like that the whole time. I'll get you to go ahead and close your eyes.
Yeah.
Take a nice deep breath. And just describing to me, if you were watching this memory like a movie in the distance, what does the scene look like? Can you describe that to me?
Yeah, we're in the corridor of a house. My mum is on one side of the corridor. My dad is sat down on the other, and in the corridor is broken into like two halves. And in the middle, there's a step down. And I'm kind of like just sort of running around, playing, running between them. And then I remember as I come down into the step, just picking up on this sadness, this tension, this frustration, and the room itself felt like it was blue, like there was a blue shade to it. But I remember very clearly that when I noticed this, it felt like I was watching it from outside of my body.
Mm.
So as the small child, I don't know if I disassociated in that moment or if it was my own kind of spirit, if you will, just kind of protecting me or just checking on it and recognizing that, you know, my parents are having this problem. And from then on, I felt like I always had to look after my mum and dad, you know, it was just make them happy.
Okay. Great awareness. So from then on, I felt like I had to look after my mom and dad and make them happy.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could freeze this sort of movie, pause everyone in the movie, pause your mom, pause your dad, and just little you is unpaused.
Yeah.
And where do you see him? Is he in the middle of the corridor? Is he on the steps? Where do you see him in this moment?
He's in that's about to come down the step, just onto that slightly lower bit of the corridor.
Okay. All right. So he's about to come down the step. I want you to step into this image, into this moment, and introduce yourself to little you. You were 3 years old. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And just let little you know that you are the older version of him and you are here to support him right now. You're here to be his friend, his buddy. You're here to help him in this moment. And how does he feel meeting you?
He feels a bit confused because it's like, what happened to all your hair? Is that I look like a younger version of my mum's dad, my Persian granddad. So he's kind of a bit like, is that you? Is it my granddad? I don't know. It's that same energy, you know.
Yeah.
Very, very much kind of friendly because my grandfather's quite confident in his masculine, you know. So I think he needed that masculine pillar around him. Even though my dad was there, his masculinity was different.
Okay. And so you have this masculine kind of pillar energy for your younger self?
Yeah, that's it. Just to let him know that it's okay and I can support the weight of the memory and the situation for him.
Beautiful. And how does the little 3-year-old you feel now that you're there?
He feels a lot lighter. That sense of the shoulder pain and the legs as well, that was picked up from that moment because I was running around them and playing, And then I think my mum snipped at me, just like, go away. And I ran away into the other room. Oh God, this is all coming back now. So there was that desire to run away from the conflict, but also that sense of burden on the shoulders to hold the weight of the situations. Because if I kept them happy, then they wouldn't split up, which inevitably they did. But there was always that sense of wanting to carry things because they created me.
Ah, great insight. Okay. So little you was sort of banished to run away, but when you ran away, you're carrying the burden on your shoulders and like that feeling in your legs, like you have to run.
Yeah, it's not safe to stand still.
Okay. Not safe to stand still. All right. Well, thank little you for sharing all of this with you, and ask him now if he would be willing to try something. It's called tapping to help him feel better, to help him release some of this heavy burden.
Yeah, he likes tapping. We've tapped together before.
Oh.
I always see, like when I see him, I kind of like he's holding up his face like he wants me to tap on his eyebrow there.
Okay, so he's ready for it.
Yeah.
Well, thank him for sharing all of this with you. And let's tap with him right now. So we're going to go with your eyes closed, tapping on the side of your hand, the karate chop point, and imagine tapping for little you. And we're going to say, even though you feel like you have to hold on to all these big feelings.
Even though you feel like you have to hold on to all these big feelings.
From your mom and your dad.
From mom and dad.
You can love and accept yourself anyway.
You can love and accept yourself anyway.
Even though you feel this in your shoulders and in your legs.
Even though you feel this in your shoulders and in your legs.
You can love and accept yourself anyway.
You can love and accept yourself anyway.
Even though you feel like it's not safe to stand still.
Even though you feel like it's not safe to stand still.
You can love and accept yourself anyway.
You can love and accept yourself anyway.
And I'm here now to support you.
And I'm here now to support you.
Top of the head. You feel like it's not safe to stand still.
You feel like it's not safe to stand still.
Eyebrow point. You've been holding, you feel like you have to hold the weight.
You feel like you have to hold the weight.
Side of the eye of mom and dad's worries.
Of mom and dad's worries.
Underneath the eye of mom and dad's worries about money.
Of mom and dad's worries about money.
Underneath the nose, you can feel it in your shoulders and in your legs.
You can feel it in your shoulders and in your legs.
Underneath the mouth, but it feels really heavy for you.
It feels really heavy for you.
Collarbone point, it feels like a lot for you.
Feels like a lot for you.
We're going to go back to the top of the head and say, but I'm here now to help you.
But I'm here now to help you.
Eyebrow point, so you don't have to do it all on your own.
So you don't have to do it all on your own.
All right, so go back to the finger points. And then ask little you, how is he feeling now?
Feels much better. Feels like he can be a kid again, not have to be all grown up.
Good. Yeah, that's the key. He can be a kid again. He doesn't have to be grown up. Can you ask him, is there anything else he learned about life or about money from this situation with his parents?
But just because mum and dad had their own bad experiences with money doesn't mean that I have to have a bad experience. It means I can choose my own way with it. And by me being successful, talking from his perspective, it doesn't mean that I don't love my mum and dad because I'm doing something different.
Ah, well, thank him. That's very insightful. Just because I'm successful doesn't mean I don't love my mom and dad.
Yeah.
Has that felt true in your life today, that you've had success?
Felt true for the past 35 years, my friend.
Okay. All right. I'm just writing that down. Well, he has done great. So let him know that he's done an awesome job and that you are here to help him feel even better. So ask him what he would like to do now. If you could give him a magic wand, he could have, do, or be anything in the world right now, what would he like? Little 3-year-old you.
Just wants to play. Just wants to play and enjoy and have fun and not be burdened with this stuff. You know?
Good. All right. Can you see him going to play now?
Yeah.
And where is he playing?
He's in the living room of the house at the time. So the conversation's still going on in the hallway, but he's not attached to the energy of it anymore. He's just at peace, kind of pottering about with the toys and all of that. And it's like this. It's like that's in another time, you know, and this is a new timeline for him, if you will.
Beautiful. Yes. So he's literally in his own little world. They're having their experience and he's having his.
Yeah.
And what was that? Sorry?
I said, that's it. I was just agreeing with you.
Good. Okay. He's like, that's it. They're in their world. I'm in mine. And can you ask him in his world, what is his experience with money like now?
It's okay. Says he kind of doesn't quite get it, but he says it's okay. It doesn't seem like this big bad thing because my folks were quite resentful towards money and people that had money. It was a bad thing. If it came in, had to get rid of it as soon as possible. And for him, he's just kind of like, well, wouldn't it be cool to have a lot of it so we could do cool stuff? We could go to cool places, we could see interesting things and people. And to him, that's quite exciting.
Yes. So could you see him starting to have some money? Even though he's a kid, he's just going to play with it and test it out?
Yeah, like, you know, those like those kids' play sets where they have like a pretend grocery store with the cash register and stuff. He's got one of those.
Yeah.
The plastic one with the paper money and stuff.
Awesome. So he's getting comfortable with it. He's learning about it. He's buying things. He's playing with money.
Yeah. It's fun. It's good. It feels good. It feels positive.
And how does his body feel now?
Relaxed. There's still a little bit of twinging in the back, but it's just he's more relaxed. There isn't that desire to run.
Good.
More like he's kind of holding up the even though I'm in England, it's dollar bills he's holding up. He's really kind of curious about them.
Yeah, it's safe for him to be curious about money. It's safe for him to be money. Beautiful. So we're going to let little you download this entire new experience with money now. Learning about it, being with it, allowed to take his time, allowed to play with it. He gets to experience it in this whole new way. And feeling just really calm and relaxed. Is there anything else he needs before we complete this today?
He just wants to know that I'll come back,
Mm-hmm.
you know, come back and visit him and not leave him on his own. He doesn't have any brothers or sisters or anything like that. So.
Okay, so let him know you are here. You're going to come back. Is there something that you could give him that would help him feel connected to you?
Yeah, I want him to. One of our cats has gone missing, and I keep seeing this cat that wants to be with him. So I'm going to let the cat stay with him until the cat comes back home in the present.
Beautiful. The cat is with him. It's his little buddy. It's reminding him that you and him are connected at any time. He can sit with the cat and call you, and you can come and check in with him again.
That's it. And in return, he said he's going to help the cat come home. So
beautiful.
That's cool.
Yeah, the cat's the messenger. I love that. All right, I want you to pick a color or a light. You can put your hands on your heart. Pick a color or a light that you can bring over the top of this image of little you playing with money, experiencing money in his own little world with money. What color is that light?
It's a really pure pink light, actually. This, like on a Valentine's card, you know, that kind of thing. Real, just pure love.
Oh, beautiful. So there's this beautiful pink Valentine light filled with pure love that he is wrapped in, and he is safe here to play with money, to be with money, and that you and him are connected now. You can just take a nice deep breath in and feel this beautiful pink light wrapping him in safety, in ease, and security. And tucking that memory somewhere that feels secure and safe for you. You could tuck it into a shelf. You could put it into a treasure chest. You could just tuck it into your heart. Where do you feel like you want to store this memory?
Right here.
Right in your heart. Beautiful. So tucking that beautiful pink, pure love, this beautiful light, this pure love into your heart, this little you who had this new experience with money, and feeling your entire body, feeling relaxed, at peace now. And then when you're ready, you can come back into the room. You can drop your feet up and down, bringing your body back into the space, opening your eyes whenever you're ready. Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this was so cool because remembering that we just started with this affirmation that I am a powerful creator and I can generate money quickly and easily. And to me, if there's any part of myself that's not on board with an affirmation, I know, like, if there's resistance, I always say resistance is a roadmap to my biggest breakthrough. And so we started today with, same thing for you, Alistair, just this feeling in your body around money, and boom, a memory popped up. And obviously, not everyone went through this individually, but I would invite you to look at, was there any early memories around money that I've either worked through before or haven't worked through yet? How do I feel about that memory? And what beliefs were born from that time? Was there any beliefs that were born from that memory that I'm ready to release? And obviously doing a more in-depth session like this is something I would recommend doing with myself or with a certified practitioner, but you can do your own belief work around it just through journaling, just through tapping. Yes, thank you for being so open. And thank you for sharing, Karen and Joelle as well. I'm curious how your memories, I know we kind of just diverted off into a session, but how your memories are feeling, and if you had any ahas by tapping around the ones that came up for you. Karen said, I heard others being put down because they had money. What comes up is feeling judged. If I have lots of money, I hold it in my stomach. It's an 8. So this is obviously where the world of tapping can open up so many doors in terms of the behaviors and emotions around our finances. But to sign off today, I wanted to leave you with the journal prompt. Let me find where I wrote it down. So taking time to look at your debt and writing down, like, where did this debt come from? Like, so what accumulated this debt, first of all? But what's deeper than that? Where did this debt come from? Is there any stories in my family lineage? Is there any stories in my own memory that hold the key to this now? You had some aha moments, Joelle. My little me feels more safe with money and confident in having more than enough. Yeah, and this is really the key. When little you can feel this breakthrough around money, you today, you're gonna start behaving differently. You're gonna start thinking differently. You're gonna start attracting differently. And maybe there needs to be a part 2 on this. I'm not gonna promise that, but as you can tell, there's so much here once you start tapping on this topic of debt. So to close out, we're going to do one more round together. As we started at the beginning, we went through, how do I feel in my body? We did some forgiveness tapping. Now we're going to tap into this affirmation that you are a powerful creator. You can create money quickly and easily. And any parts of you that don't believe this, allow them to be revealed now. Allow them to be healed now. Allow them to be seen now, so that your body and all parts of you can be on board with who you're becoming. Right? Who you're becoming is somebody who has wild amounts of wealth. Who I'm becoming is somebody who is comfortable having lots of money. Who I'm becoming is somebody who has debt sometimes, and that's okay, right? Really thinking about who am I becoming in relation to my money, in relation to having debt. What is that version of me like? So this last round, let's tap together into this affirmation. And thank you so much for all holding space for that session. So tapping on the side of the hand, we're going to say, even though my journey with money is ongoing, I am seeing that my relationship with money is opening doors to great healing and opening doors to my liberation and power. Even though my relationship with money is constantly changing. Money is reminding me that I am a powerful creator and that I have the ability to generate money quickly and easily. Let's go to the top of the head and say, whether I believe it or not, eyebrow point, I have the power, side of the eye, to generate money quickly and easily. Underneath the eye, I have the power to transform my debt. Underneath the nose, to move out of the situation I'm in. Underneath the mouth and into a completely new one. Collarbone point, I am moving into a new cycle. Underneath the arms, into a new season. Underneath the chest with my money now. Tapping on the wrists, I'm learning how to feel safe. Top of the head, holding more money. Eyebrow point, handling more money. Side of the eye, and having more money than ever before. Underneath the eye, I'm healing parts of me in the past that were afraid. Underneath the nose, I'm healing parts of me in the past that didn't believe it was possible. Underneath the mouth, I am creating my own money story now. Collarbone point, and in this story, underneath the arms, I prosper. Underneath the chest, I thrive. Wrist point, I have enough money to pay off my debt. Top of the head, to support causes I believe in. Eyebrow point, and to have a lot of fun. Side of the eye, this new cycle is starting now. Eyebrow point, a new money story has been created today. Underneath the nose, I am awakening to the powerful creator within me. Underneath the mouth, and I am learning that I can generate money. Collarbone point, quickly and easily now. All right, so I will leave you there today. Thank you all so much. I will leave you with the prompt in this new cycle, in this new money cycle that you are in. We have activated it today. What is true for you? What is true for you in this new money cycle? This new money cycle, like money is often a mirror for our deepest, greatest healing, especially when it comes to our power. And if your debt is big, it's because it's trying to get your attention. And it's like, we need to have a conversation. We need to look at each other. We need to talk to each other. We need to work with each other. Money is here to work with you, for you. And one of my favorite quotes I heard recently is, if you don't give it a job, it will give you one. So if money is giving you a job right now, it's okay. It's like, I got to get it together. I got to take a look at it. I have to remember that I'm a powerful creator, and that I do have the ability to generate money quickly and easily, and to live the life that you know is possible for you. So share in the comments, what is this new money cycle bringing for you? Claim it, declare it, say it here today. Repeat that quote. If you don't give your money a job, it will give you a job. And some of the funnest manifestation stories, in my opinion, is when you're manifesting something specific, like a house or a car, right? You're like, have a specific thing that you're creating, and you're giving it a job. You're like, let's do this together. But with debt, it's like, what job am I giving it? You're like, just go away. You're like, no, let's work together on this. Let's give money and me a job together. We're going to eliminate this debt together. And I'm going to learn all these things about myself that's going to have the ability to help me hold and have more money long-term. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing all your insights. I'm glad that it was helpful. And if you enjoyed this, come to the membership. We tap pretty much every day, 3 days a week. We tap together via Zoom twice a month. And I can't say it enough. Like, that space, there's so much gold in there. If you want to continue with these breakthroughs and continue with your money journey, the tapping membership is the best place for that. I also have my mastermind that is opening next week. It's called A Millionaire in the Making. And ideally, it's for people who are at the 6-figure level going to 7 figures. If you're not there yet, I do have some options available. So make sure you get on the wait list for that. It is the way to work with me one-on-one throughout the year. And it's really where I give a lot of my own journey, of my own lessons, my own things that I'm doing in that space. So come, make sure you join Millionaire in the Making waitlist. I will send it out in email. Yes, you will get a replay. We have been having some quirks with Zoom. Like, I'll record it, and then when it goes to my computer, it says record to local files is missing. So hopefully that doesn't happen to this, but if it's a few days, it's because Zoom is having to recall them from their whatever software, however that works. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for being here. We'll see you all hopefully in the membership or in the mastermind. Bye for now.